Some absences don't make noise. They linger. In a familiar scene, a voice you remember, a moment that still feels real. Welcome to Hollywood Tribute, where we remember the American actors who left something behind that never fades. If this brings something back to you, a simple comment helps keep their memory alive. Gwen Frell, the actress whose face quietly became part of one of America's most beloved Sunday night rituals, has died at 93. Her son Keith confirmed she passed away in Los Angeles. The cause hasn't been shared. Think back to those years. The kitchen still warm from supper, the country pulling itself out of Vietnam, and there she was, a nurse in olive drab, walking through the chaos of the 4077th. She wasn't the star. She didn't need to be. Between 1972 and 1983, she showed up in 26 episodes, and somehow that was enough to stitch her into the memory of a generation. People forget how much that show meant. It aired while real boys were still coming home, while Watergate played out on the same screen the following hour. Gwen's face, calm and steady in the background, was part of how America made sense of all of it. And here's the part that surprises folks. In 1980, she stepped out of the soundstage and into the boxing ring as a referee, the first woman ever to officiate a world title fight. Imagine that. A nurse on television, then standing between two heavyweights in real life. Her family called her a guiding light, a grandmother, quiet wisdom in a loud world. Some lives don't need a spotlight to leave a mark. Some just walk through the room and stay there forever. He was the face of an American summer that doesn't come back. Robert Redford has died at 89. His longtime publicist Cindy Berger confirmed the news, and just like that, something in the country shifted. Most folks reading this can probably tell you exactly where they were the first time they saw him. Maybe at the drive-in. Maybe a cool Saturday in 1969, the year Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid hit theaters and changed what a leading man was supposed to look like. He and Paul Newman on those bicycles, Burt Bacharach playing in the background. Half the country fell in love that afternoon. And it kept going. The way we were in 1973. The cardigan, the boat, Streisand fixing his hair. Then all the President's Men in 1976, when the wounds of Watergate were still fresh, and he played the reporter who helped bring it all down. Funny how an actor can hand you the news of your own life. What people don't always remember is that he ran from the spotlight as much as he stood in it. Bought 2 acres in Utah back in '61 for $500. Built the cabin himself, founded Sundance, because he believed small voices deserved a stage too. He lost a baby boy. He lost his mother before he could thank her. He carried both quietly. Some men age into legends. He aged into something rarer, a witness. You knew the face before you ever knew the name. That was Beau Starr. The character actor with the heavy build and the working man's voice has died at 81, gone peacefully in Vancouver of natural causes. His brother Mike, also an actor, you'd recognize him too, confirmed the news. Beau wasn't supposed to end up in pictures. Born in Queens in 1944, he came up swinging on football fields. Practice squad with the New York Jets in the late 60s, back when Joe Namath was guaranteeing Super Bowls. Then up to Canada with the Montreal Alouettes and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. A big man earning his keep the hard way. Acting found him later, and once it did, he became one of those guys who quietly built a resume the size of a phone book. The A-Team, Knight Rider, Magnum, Murder, She Wrote, Matlock. If you watched television in the 1980s, you watched Beau Starr, probably more than once a week without realizing it. 2 roles stuck. Sheriff Ben Meeker in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. hunting Michael Myers through a small-town nightmare. And in 1990, Scorsese put him in Goodfellas as Henry Hill's father. The belt scene, the screen door slamming, brutal, unforgettable. His co-star Christopher Serrone said Bo lived a rich and meaningful life. Son, brother, father, grandfather. The kind of man who showed up, who did the work. Some careers don't need a marquee. Some men just keep the lights on for everybody else. There was a line he said about napalm. You probably hear it in your head right now. Robert Duvall, the actor Vincent Canby once called the American Olivier, has died at 95. He went peacefully at his farm in Middleburg, Virginia, his wife Luciana by his side. No cause was given. None really needed to be. The man had simply lived. What a run he had. He started small. To Kill a Mockingbird in 1962, where he stepped out from behind a door as Boo Radley and didn't say a word that anyone forgot. From there, the work just kept coming. Tom Hagen in The Godfather, the cavalry colonel in Apocalypse Now who loved the smell of napalm in the morning, Augustus McCrae in Lonesome Dove, riding across every Sunday night TV in 1989, and the broken country singer in Tender Mercies. That one finally got him the Oscar. Here's a thing worth remembering. Back in 1955, in a cold New York walk-up, Duvall shared a couch with Dustin Hoffman. Around the corner, he bunked with Gene Hackman. Three unknowns sorting mail and clerking at Macy's, dreaming. All three made it. All three stayed friends until the end. He didn't want a service. He wanted folks to watch a good movie, tell a story around the table, drive somewhere pretty. That's the whole man right there. No fuss, no speech, just the work and the country road and the people he loved. He didn't recognize her. That's how it started. A man she had known for years looked right through her, like she was a stranger, like she had never been baby, like 1987 never happened. She just stood there, smiling, waiting for him to catch up. He never did. You have to understand something about Jennifer Grey. Before that moment, before the surgery, before the silence that followed her career for almost a decade, she was the girl. The one every woman in America saw and thought, that could have been me at 17. The one in the corner, the one who got pulled out of it. Dirty Dancing came out in August of 1987, a small movie. Nobody expected anything from it. The studio almost sent it straight to video. Can you imagine? One of the most beloved films of an entire generation, almost thrown away. But then it hit, and it hit hard. Women lined up around the block. Some saw it 3, 4, 5 times. Mothers took their daughters. Daughters took their mothers. And Jennifer, this girl with the curls and the nose and that face you couldn't fake, she became something more than an actress. She became a feeling. The Golden Globe nomination came right after. She was 27 years old. The world was wide open. And then, you know how life does this thing, where the highest moment and the lowest moment sit so close together you can barely tell them apart? That same year, 1987, a few weeks before Dirty Dancing premiered, she was in Northern Ireland, in a car, with Matthew Broderick, her boyfriend at the time. They were on vacation. The car crossed into the wrong lane. 2 women were killed. She survived, but something else didn't. And nobody talked about that for a long, long time. Have you ever carried something you couldn't say out loud? That's what those years were for her. The fame kept moving. The parties kept happening. People wanted autographs, wanted photos, wanted the girl from the movie. And inside, she was somewhere else entirely, sitting in a hospital in Ireland, reading the names of two strangers in a newspaper, knowing she would never meet them. She was raised in New York, daughter of Joel Grey. Yes, that Joel Grey, the cabaret one, the Oscar one. Show business was the dinner table, the living room, the way people said hello. But Jennifer didn't want easy. She wanted real. She studied acting in Manhattan. She took classes. She paid dues nobody saw her pay. Reckless in 1984. Red Dawn the same year. She was the girl with the rifle in the snow. Then Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986, where she played Jeannie, the sister nobody could stand and everybody secretly loved. Matthew Broderick was Ferris. That's how they met. You see how the threads start to cross? By 1988, after Dirty Dancing, she was supposed to be everywhere. The next big thing, the girl who could carry a movie on her back. But the offers got strange. The parts got smaller. And there was something in the mirror she kept staring at. Her nose. She had always had this distinct, beautiful, very specific nose. The kind you don't forget. The kind that was her face. And in 1989, she made a decision a lot of women were making in those years. She thought it would help. She thought it would open doors. She had it done. Then she had it done again, because the first one didn't go right. And when she walked back into Hollywood, nobody knew who she was. Imagine that. Imagine going to work on Monday, and your co-workers walk past you. Not because they're rude, because they genuinely don't see you. Because the face you spent your whole life inside of is gone. She has talked about this. Slowly. Carefully. In her memoir, Out of the Corner in 2022, 35 years after Dirty Dancing, she finally said the words out loud. She called it going into a witness protection program. That's how she described it. She was the only person in the world who got plastic surgery and became anonymous from it. Roles dried up. Phones stopped ringing. The girl from the corner had walked off the screen and nobody could find her. She married Clark Gregg in 2001. You might know him from the Marvel movies, Agent Coulson. They had a daughter, Stella. And for a while, she was just a mom in Los Angeles. School pickups, birthday parties, a normal life that wasn't supposed to be hers. But here's the thing about people like Jennifer. They don't disappear. They wait. In 2010, she went on Dancing with the Stars, season 11. And listen, she shouldn't have done well. Her body was held together with metal and titanium from the Ireland accident. Years of surgeries on her neck. She was almost 50. She won. She won. The whole season, week after week, this woman who America had lost track of came back. Not as baby, as Jennifer, older, tired around the eyes, stronger than anyone expected. And when she lifted that mirror ball trophy, something in her face cracked open, like she was finally being seen again. After 23 years, you ever watch somebody come back to themselves on live television? It's a strange thing. She's 66 now. Her marriage to Clark ended in 2020, quietly. They stayed friends, the way grown-ups sometimes manage to do. She doesn't pretend it didn't hurt. She has been honest about that too in interviews, about being the woman left, about starting over after 20 years of someone knowing the way you take your coffee. There's a Dirty Dancing sequel coming. She's producing it. She'll be in it. Lionsgate announced it years ago, and it has crawled forward in the slow way Hollywood things do. Patrick Swayze is gone. He died in 2009, lung cancer, far too young. And you can hear that loss in the way she talks about the project. Like she's carrying him with her into the room. She still dances. Not the way she did at 27. Differently. With the body she has now. With the knees that complain, with the back that tells the truth about Ireland every single morning. And here's what you notice. When you watch her in interviews lately, she doesn't fight the years anymore. She lets them sit on her face. The lines around her eyes when she laughs at her own jokes. The hands that move when she talks about her daughter, who's a young woman now. The slight pause before she answers a hard question, because she's actually thinking about it. That's not a Hollywood thing. That's a human thing. You can't fake it. There are women watching this who grew up with her, who taped Dirty Dancing off HBO in 1989, who watched it on a Tuesday night when their husbands were out, who remember being 22 with that song playing. She knows you. She knows you're still out there. And the corner she came out of all those years ago, she's still finding her way out of it, even now. The news came on a Sunday morning, the kind of news nobody saw coming. Patrick Mulun, the handsome leading man from Days of Our Lives and Melrose Place, has died at just 57. A heart attack. His girlfriend found him unconscious in the bathroom of their Beverly Hills home. Paramedics did everything they could. It wasn't enough. 57. Younger than most of the people who watched him grow up on screen. He came out of USC in 1991, where he played football for the Trojans before Hollywood pulled him in. The next year, he stepped onto the Days of Our Lives set as Austin Reed, a role he originated and would come back to 2 decades later. If you ever sat through an afternoon at home, laundry going, soup on the stove, you saw that face. Then came Melrose Place in the mid-90s, where he played the smooth villain Richard Hart and stole every scene Aaron Spelling gave him. And in 1997, he showed up in Starship Troopers, that strange and wonderful Paul Verhoeven movie people are still arguing about. His sister Shauna, married to Frank Zappa's son Amit, called him the brightest light in any room. The family called him Bobo. He had a niece and a nephew who adored him. 2 days before he died, he was posting on Instagram about a new film he was producing. That's the cruel part. He was still in the middle of his life, still building. Some doors close before anyone's ready. Some people you don't want to lose. Katherine O'Hara was one of them. The Canadian-American comedian whose face could break a room into laughter just by tilting an eyebrow has died at 71, gone at her Los Angeles home after a brief illness. Her family confirmed it. The medical examiner later listed pulmonary embolism with cancer underneath. She spent over 50 years making people happy. That's the part worth sitting with. Most folks first met her in 1990, screaming, "Kevin!" through a Paris hotel room as Kate McAllister, the mother who left her kid behind at Christmas. Home Alone became the kind of movie families watched every December, whether they meant to or not. Before that, she was already a quiet legend up in Canada. CTV, the Toronto sketch show where she replaced Gilda Radner herself in 1974 and worked alongside John Candy and Eugene Levy. They were just kids then. They didn't know they were inventing modern comedy. Then came Beetlejuice in '88, Best in Show in 2000, that mockumentary about dog people that still holds up. And in her 60s, the late career miracle, Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. The wigs, the vocabulary, that ridiculous, glorious accent. She finally won the Emmy in 2020. She married Bo Welch on the Beetlejuice set. 2 sons, Matthew and Luke. Macaulay Culkin called her Mama after she was gone. Said he thought they had more time. Funny how the people who make us laugh the longest are the hardest to say goodbye to. The hat. That's the first thing most folks will think of. The bowler hat, the necktie, the oversized vest. Diane Keaton has died at 79, and somewhere right now an old movie poster of Annie Hall feels heavier on the wall. Her family confirmed the news. The cause was bacterial pneumonia. She passed in Los Angeles, surrounded by people who loved her. She was never trying to be anyone else. That was the whole trick. Born Diane Hall in 1946, right there in L.A., she took her mother's maiden name when she got to New York because Equity already had a Diane Hall on the books. She studied under Sanford Meisner, did hair on Broadway with the rest of the long-haired kids, and then Woody Allen put her in Play It Again, Sam and the World Tilted. Then, 1972, Kay Adams in The Godfather. Standing in that doorway while Michael lies to her face about the family business. That single shot of a door closing on her. Forever. She won the Oscar for Annie Hall in '78. La-dee-da, la-dee-da. Then Reds. Baby Boom. Father of the Bride. The First Wives Club with Goldie and Bet, dancing on that bed. Something's Gotta Give with Jack Nicholson, where she made falling in love at 60 look like the easiest thing in the world. She never married. Adopted Dexter and Duke in her 50s. Lived her life her way. Some women teach a whole country what independence looks like. She was one of them.